Jake Paul is very good at creating events that whatever you want, well, the reason you get mad is because you're being manipulated.
Oh.
Because you know when the time comes, you're going to have to watch it.
Right.
He's like a genius at that. He makes events that you have to watch.
Right.
Even if you don't want to. So this is one of those.
Gervonta Davis might be every bit as box office as Maverick himself. As exciting, as electric. Because this dude performs every time out, y'all. Wherever Davis goes, wherever he fights, fans justifiably follow. He's that special. And Davis is without a doubt one of the top 5 pound for pound fighters in the world right now. Don't you even doubt it.
What happens when one of boxing's deadliest pound-for-pound killers, a man who has never officially weighed more than 140 pounds, gets called out by a 200-pound cruiserweight? The answer is a firestorm of controversy, money, and a fight that simply shouldn't be possible.
Then this is the type of event that will probably push him even further along in his popularity. If he puts on a good performance and it's an exciting fight or exhibition and anything, and he winds up somehow looking good in this, I don't know how it is. It looks to me David and Goliath, but David got skill and Goliath doesn't, but I don't know how it's going to work out. But if for some reason it winds up being a really fun event and it has tons and tons of millions and millions and millions of viewers, when Gervonta Davis goes back to his
What about the Paul brothers?
The who brothers?
Jake Paul, Logan Paul.
It's not boxing, man. It's entertainment.
Exhibition.
It's fun. It's a market out there.
Yeah.
And guess what? Let them have fun. But don't mix it up with boxing.
Yeah.
It's
Don't
not
put him in the
boxing.
ring with you.
No.
Jake Paul has built an empire on calculated call-outs and picking the perfect moments to strike.
Going into the sport of boxing, I wonder who he should fight.
He thought he understood the game, he thought he knew the limits of his potential opponents, but a few seconds of grainy gym footage just shattered everything he thought he knew about Gervonta "Tank" Davis. The entire firestorm was reignited by a few seconds of grainy gym footage, but in that footage was a version of Gervonta Davis nobody had ever seen before. Sparring clips began circulating online, showing Tank looking not just bigger, but chiseled, faster, and more dangerously explosive than at any point in his career. His movements were sharper, his punches seemed to carry a new level of devastating power, and the sheer physicality he displayed sent shockwaves through the boxing community.
What was it like when you sparred him? I know you sparred Tank early on.
Yeah.
What was that experience like? Like, replay that experience for me. Like, you coming out of it, what was your thought?
Yeah, I was nervous at first. I think I was 15 at the time we sparred, so he wasn't really like trying to knock me out or nothing like that. But we was going like, he was using the speed on me. Like, we was both like going speed for speed, and it was great. It was like a chess match.
Did you understand in that moment like why he is who he is?
Yeah, I seen why he's able to beat these guys. Then I also seen why I'm so like. I got all this hype around me too.
Instantly, fans and analysts began speculating that the lightweight champion was entering a terrifying new prime, evolving into an even more formidable wrecking machine.
Bro, what is this production?
Oh!
I'll tell you what we're going to learn. If Tank Davis takes it serious, Tank Davis is going to beat his ass. I just don't know if Tank's going to take it serious. Like, mentally, I don't know how checked out he's been for a while, to be honest. I mean, he's a good enough boxer to, still. I mean, we see what's going on in his personal life. He's talked about retiring. Like he seems, when you follow him on social media or his career or whatever, he seems to not be interested in doing this job and not really enjoying what he's doing. So I don't know where he's at mentally, but if he's at the top of his game mentally, I mean, he should destroy Jake Paul, like, easily. Because Tank has amazing defense, and he's little and he's way faster. And Jake is not good enough to catch him. Like Tank should be able to run circles around him and touch him up. He may or may not knock him out. He's got 100 fucking pounds on him, but he's going to touch him and he's going to hurt him, and he should not really get hit much in this fight. And I guess it's maybe the kind of guys like me that were like, it kind of adds a little bit of interest just because I'm like I know what it is, it's entertainment, but like, it's kind of entertaining, bro. It's a little bit entertaining that he's fighting a really, really good championship level boxer. It's kind of a circus show.
Who saw the online reaction and recognized a golden opportunity. The new bulked up version of Tank was the perfect visual to sell a fight against a much larger man.
Something else that's unfortunate is the idea that Jake Paul might actually fight Gervonta Tank Davis. This can't be real. When it came up a couple of months ago, I was like, you know what? I'm not even gonna cover this because there's no way it's real. There's no way they're really gonna do that because it makes no sense. Why would you do that for him? Outside of it, like, okay, you can look at it like an exhibition, which it will be, and we'll take a look at some of the rule set for it. But Gervonta Davis is one of, if not the best, biggest names at 135 pounds, and is an active, in his prime fighter. I don't want to hear the similar to Floyd and Logan thing, because at that point, Floyd was retired. Floyd had done all he needed to do in the sport. Tank is still in his prime, still has multiple high-level opponents that he needs to fight. And you can say, oh, the Jake would be a one-off. Side quest. That's fine, but that just tells me that Tank doesn't care about being a high-level champion in the sport anymore.
You mean to tell me you start hitting Jake with some shit, he ain't gonna fight back? He said, fat. But he had you on a hit list before this fight even happened. So his mental is on you. So you have to take him serious.
What Tank Davis doesn't know he's risking is crazy. I hope he knows now. The fan base doesn't know what Tank's risking. Y'all just seeing it as WWE shit. That Jake Paul is an opportunist, and that Jake Paul is going to try to knock him out. He's going to try to knock him out, do this, cross his arms. He's going to try to do that shit. If he hits Tank and Tank has Bambi legs, that goes viral. Jake Paul gave Tank Bambi legs. He'll get trolled so much, Tank may retire. Tank got to knock that guy out, and y'all don't realize it. And regardless of the reality of it being an exhibition, that shit, the sight of that is going to go viral. Tank going to have to take him seriously and knock his ass out, bro.
But as impressive as Tank looked, it did nothing to change the one staggering fact that makes this fight seem like a fantasy.
Jake is big. Tank has a lot of skill, but I don't think he's the same Tank that we saw the most incredible knockouts. We saw him, Lamont Roach performed great. They went to draw, and I just don't know. And Tank walked away. I don't know if he loves it enough to beat a guy who outweighs him by 80 to 100 pounds.
A fact written on the scales. This matchup puts Gervonta Davis, a 135-pound natural lightweight, against Jake Paul, a cruiserweight who fights at nearly 190 pounds. The staggering 60-plus pound weight difference creates a dangerous chasm that defies the fundamental safety principles of boxing's weight classes.
It's kind of weird, because Jake Paul is extremely bigger than Tank. And but with it being a exhibition, it makes sense. It's fine. He got a big name that he's gonna be fighting. But it really makes no sense because he's gonna be weighing over 200 and some pounds. Tank's gonna probably be weighing maybe at the most 147, 150. So I don't even understand why the fight is happening.
This is a gap of 5 or 6 entire divisions. It's like asking a leopard to fight a silverback gorilla. The smaller animal might be faster and more skilled, but the raw power and durability of the larger one changes the rules of engagement entirely. That extra mass allows a fighter to absorb punches that would crumble a smaller opponent and to deliver blows with bone-shattering force. With the numbers making so little sense, many laughed it off.
What if Tank Davis, who can punch, who is a hell of a fighter, who is a top 10 pound-for-pound fighter, what if he lands a punch on this bigger guy's chin, right, who's not a professional fighter? What happens? What happens? That's what would sell it. I know what the size difference is what creates the problem.
But in modern boxing, when there's smoke, there's usually a 9-figure paycheck hiding behind it.
Gervonta Davis's guarantee.
I call bullshit.
Me too.
I call bullshit.
$200 million is a lot of money.
That'd be the most any athlete's ever made in one event, in one night. Where are they getting that money?
I mean, it's Netflix.
Okay. Mike Tyson didn't make that. Jake Paul didn't make that.
No. 20 million, I would believe, not 200 million.
20 million seems realistic.
That's a lot.
Even because Netflix is bigger, but there's no pay-per-view model, so. And Gervonta is a big pay-per-view draw, especially for being a lighter weight class.
Yeah.
So 20 to even 40 I can get.
Oof, that's a lot.
40 I can understand.
When push comes to shove, though, like 20.
Like Canelo's getting that 40.
Yeah.
But Gervonta Davis, he was, especially on Showtime, he's a big pay-per-view star.
Yeah.
He's a knockout artist.
Mm-hmm.
200 mil is just completely false.
God, Jake is so much bigger.
Yeah, man.
I mean, so much bigger.
I don't get it. If he thinks this is going to make him legitimate in boxing, I just don't get why he do it.
While critics and purists screamed about the danger and absurdity of the fight, former champion Shawn Porter stepped forward with a very different perspective. He defended the potential exhibition, arguing that people needed to look past the weight classes and see the business sense. For Porter, this wasn't about Tank proving his legacy or testing his skills against a giant. It was about securing generational wealth for himself and his family. Boxers have notoriously short and brutal careers. One bad night, one injury, and it can all be over.
They're trying to make it safer and all those sorts of things, but there's still this pureness to boxing that really doesn't exist in sports anymore. But it's still there with boxing. I think that's why people have such a problem with this kind of move from Tank Davis.
Is it more the heart? How do you guys feel being boxers?
Man, like once you hear the numbers, I'm like, they're talking like, I don't know the official one. They're talking about like 100 mil.
Oh damn.
Like, they're talking about these insane numbers. Like I'm gonna be like, don't take that. I'm not gonna tell another man not to take that type of check, especially for something like that. It's not on your official record. It's an exhibition. I'm not gonna lie here and act like I'm not gonna say yes to 100 million or something like that. But I do see exactly what you're saying about the essence of boxing. I wish they would kind of separate a little more, because exhibitions have always been a thing. There's always been an argument.
Right.
But they're just selling it like a real fight almost.
Right.
So I think that maybe if we could create a better like distinction, the more of a difference.
Right.
There might be less hate on it, but at the end of the day, man, I'm not gonna tell Tank not to take that fight.
And I said this last year. I said create a influencer title. And let those guys fight over there in the influencer world. They can live the world and the life of I'm a world champion without having to do something like this. Now, the issue for this that I have is you have a legitimate 135-pound champion fighter getting in the ring with a 190-pound guy, whatever it is that Jake Paul is at. So now we already let's really answer this thing.
Porter's argument was simple. Why would any fighter turn down a low-risk exhibition for a life-changing payday? The rumored purse for this spectacle was floated to be around a staggering $100 million. For that kind of money, fighters are willing to break the unwritten rules of the sport. It's a business move, an opportunity to cash in on the circus that has become crossover boxing. But not everyone was buying the "it's just business" excuse. For some, this wasn't just a mismatch, it was a slap in the face to the sport itself.
When we wanted the Loma fight, when it was in its prime, him and Mayweather, their team just, they just danced around it. When we wanted the Devin fight for Undisputed, the belts don't matter. I could just give them to my kids because everybody's winning belts. Shakur, he's easy work, he's boring, but you don't want to unify against him. Keyshawn might have a chance. You feel me? It's just disgusting. We wanted the Bud fight too after he called him out, and we also would have took a Teofimo Lopez fight. But then his fans would say, oh, but they're too big. They're not in his weight class. What the fuck is Jake Paul? This is the bullshit I be talking about. Like, this shit does nothing for the sport of boxing, but in terms of the division of 135, it doesn't do jack shit.
One of the most vocal critics was none other than fighter and master promoter Chael Sonnen. He attacked the matchup not just on the grounds of fairness, but on the grounds of pure entertainment. Sonnen argued that Jake Paul had spent months teasing potential fights with legitimate heavyweights, even dropping names like Anthony Joshua.
Be common about it. My question is, what's the rules? And like, are they gonna actually try and knock each other out? Because it's gonna be a glorified sparring match. I'm not watching, dude. I don't give a fuck.
Jake's gonna have a hard time hitting him.
Yeah.
You know?
Big time. Gervonta's so fast and skilled.
Gervonta's gonna eat his
I thought
guts.
Jake was gonna fight Anthony Joshua. That seemed
that was actually getting.
That
sounded
the
more
craziest
interesting.
idea I've ever heard. Jake Paul trying to fight Anthony Joshua is, crazy.
Not a sanctioned professional bout. This means the fight will not count towards either fighter's professional records.
So it's still being finalized.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that.
What is so behind the scenes? You think there are things like, hey, we don't punch each other in the jaw.
Yep. Or don't go. We can punch in the face, but don't go for broke. Like, don't knock me out.
Really?
Yeah. It's an exhibition.
That's
so
not
they can
very
get away
interesting
with
to
it.
me.
No. Until I find the rule sets, but when I hear exhibition, I'm like, okay.
Jake is bodied up, man.
He's big.
Yeah.
Probably has 100 pounds on Gervonta.
Maybe. I'd say Gervonta probably walks at 150.
Oh, he's so small.
He's so small. I mean, he's really small. Bring up Gervonta Davis next to Floyd Mayweather, because I've seen Floyd in person, and he's tiny. You've seen Floyd in person.
I've worked with Gervonta and Floyd.
Tiny.
Well, Floyd likely has shoes on.
Oh, dude, he's so small.
He's tiny, guys.
Yeah. I mean, he's so small.
To pivot from that to calling out a lightweight, no matter how skilled, felt like a massive letdown to the fans who were promised a real test. Sonnen's most cutting critique was aimed at the promotional dynamic. He pointed out that Gervonta Davis, for all his talent inside the ring, is not a natural showman. He doesn't sell fights with his words. Jake Paul, on the other hand, is a master of hype.
Jake Paul, Tank Davis fight got moved to Miami.
I think Jake wins.
Jake's just so big, dude.
I think Jake wins.
This is different because it's similar. It's similar to Logan versus Mayweather, but Jake Paul now obviously is way more advanced than where Logan was at that moment in time.
I mean,
Gervonta is fucking sick.
I mean, yeah, no, but dude,
Did
Jake.
you ever watch his highlights?
Jake can
He's
crack,
nasty,
man.
bro. He's so sick. I love that guy, bro.
This meant the entire burden of selling this controversial event would fall squarely on Paul's shoulders, forcing him to promote a fight that many hardcore fans already viewed as a farce.
It is the exact opposite of Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul for 2. So the fight that was being dangled and rumored in front of us, the exact opposite has happened. The opposite of fighting Anthony Joshua is not fighting nobody. The opposite of fighting Anthony Joshua is fighting Tank Davis. Okay, so there's one big glaring issue for me. It's just your partner being Tank Davis. Tank is not the guy that knows how to sell a fight. Tank cannot sell a fight in his own division. It could be a title fight, a contenders fight, a main event fight. He could be the favorite, he could be the underdog. Tank doesn't know how to bring that information to you guys in a way that is compelling. And Tank is already blinking in this situation. You have one guy who is argued amongst the pound for pound current greats in boxing. You have another guy that has suggested he should not even be allowed to box, that he should have to call it something different. He should not be licensed. He should not be ranked in the top 14. He should never be selected for a world title. Okay. Now, Tank has one job to do, which is to let anybody know that's listening that it doesn't make any difference, that boxing is a real sport.
While the pundits argued, the one man at the center of the storm was having a surprising change of heart, completely reversing his original opinion of Jake Paul. When Jake Paul first burst onto the boxing scene, Gervonta Davis was among the many professional fighters who dismissed him outright. In early interviews, Tank referred to Paul as a clown, making it clear he saw the YouTuber as nothing more than an internet personality playing dress-up in a dangerous sport. He had no interest in entertaining the idea of a fight and viewed Paul's presence as a joke. But as time went on, something began to shift. Paul kept fighting, kept training, and started earning wins against recognizable names, culminating in his victory over Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. That win in particular seemed to be a turning point. It broke revenue records and forced figures like Oscar De La Hoya and Manny Pacquiao to acknowledge Paul's dedication.
He should beat Jake Paul, shouldn't he?
No, he shouldn't.
You don't think? Sorry. So, I thought we were all unanimous here. Do you think that Jake Paul beats Gervonta Davis?
70 pounds is 70 pounds.
Gervonta Davis is very small. 5'5".
He's tiny, bro.
5'5".
That's
You
what I'm
got
saying.
Jake Paul
He's a little
6'1".
man.
If Jake Paul's tucking up,
move on,
and absorbing punishment for walking forward, then look, there's a weight advantage.
Tank was watching. His public tone began to change from contempt to a grudging respect. He started acknowledging Paul's work ethic and, more importantly, recognized his undeniable power to draw millions of eyes and dollars to any event he touched. The clown had become a legitimate business opportunity, and Tank was now willing to listen.
The thing about Gervonta, his fight against Jake Paul, I'm going to say this clean. That fight is exciting. It can be career ending. Jake Paul can end his whole shit. Tank can end Jake Paul's whole shit. And if that fight is meh and it's just a sparring session that's tit for tat, their shit's over. They can't do that. If they do, their career's ruined. Jake Paul career's ruined and Tank. Everybody who's saying that it's just going to be an exhibition, like it's just going to be a fake fight, y'all hope it is. If Jake knocks out Tank, y'all gonna say it's fake. If he goes the distance, y'all gonna call it fake. The only thing that y'all will call real is if Tank knocks out Jake. That's why Tank, you gotta knock him out.
With both fighters seemingly on board, the money on the table, and the fans buzzing, the fight seemed inevitable. But there was one massive obstacle that money and fame couldn't overcome. As the chatter grew louder, the promoters had to make it official, and that meant getting the approval of an athletic commission. They took their proposal to the Georgia Athletic Commission, likely assuming the high-profile nature of the event would ensure a smooth process. They were wrong. The commission took one look at the staggering weight difference and flatly rejected the matchup. The chairman, Rick Thompson, made a public statement that felt like a direct rebuke, saying that promoters were trying to push a fight that simply shouldn't have been. He cited the immense danger and the violation of fundamental safety protocols. The official rejection was a massive blow, proof that the concerns about the weight gap were not just online noise, but a legitimate barrier that regulators would not ignore. Faced with this wall, Paul's team did the only thing they could. They withdrew their application and began searching for a location with more lenient rules, eventually settling on Miami. This move revealed just how determined they were to make the fight happen, even if it meant bypassing the normal safety checks.
There's no way in hell this fight was ever gonna happen. And the fact that y'all believed it, I don't know, you're stupid. So Rick Thompson, chairman of the Georgia Athletic Commission, told USA Today Sports that Paul's promotion company withdrew its request for permits and a rule waiver, citing the 65-pound weight difference between the fighters. The Rick Thompson guy straight up said they've been promoting something they should not have been. Come on, guys, like, use your brains. Y'all boxing fans, you understand this. This fight was never gonna happen. This is the article from USA Today. It says the status of the proposed fight between Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis under scrutiny because of the weight discrepancy between the two fighters. Rick Thompson is coming out and saying this stuff because he said he believes it's in the public's best interest to know that they've been promoting something they should not have been. Communications director for the Office of the Secretary of State told USA Today Sports the event will not be happening. But funny enough, tickets are still available. You could still purchase them online. And the fight is still listed on the State Farm Arena event.
Forced to operate outside the usual rules, the promoters had to create a new set of terms for the fight. To get around the sanctioning issues, the fight was officially rebranded as an exhibition. This single word changes everything. It means the fight wouldn't go on their professional records and allowed for a set of special safety rules. To mitigate the danger, they proposed a catch weight, likely around 195 pounds, and the use of larger, heavily padded 16-ounce gloves to soften the impact of the punches. But these rules did little to quiet the growing concern that the entire event would be nothing more than a glorified sparring match. Speculation ran rampant that there would be unwritten gentlemen's agreements in place. Would there be an understanding not to go for a knockout? Would they be instructed to carry each other for a few rounds to give the audience a show without anyone getting seriously hurt? These questions cast a long shadow over the event's legitimacy, suggesting it was less of a true contest and more of a choreographed performance designed to protect the massive investment from both sides. This bizarre blend of business, spectacle, and sport has created a new kind of event in boxing, one that leaves fans with a final chilling question. In the end, the debate over Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis boils down to one thing: what you believe the soul of boxing is. Is it a pure sport of skill and courage, governed by rules designed to ensure fair competition and protect its athletes? Or has it evolved into a branch of the entertainment industry, where the lines are blurred and the biggest spectacle with the biggest payday wins? This fight is the ultimate symbol of that conflict. It's seen by some as a dangerous mockery that disrespects the sport's traditions and puts a smaller man at enormous risk. To others, it's a brilliant financial masterstroke, a high-stakes business move that gives the casual public the blockbuster event they crave. In a fight with so many rules designed to keep it safe, the most dangerous outcome might not be physical. What if one clean knockout from Tank, a viral moment seen around the world, could instantly make him the biggest star in boxing overnight? For a prize that big, maybe every broken rule is worth it. So that's all from today's video. If you enjoyed it, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell icon so you never miss our upcoming videos. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments section. Stay tuned, and we will catch you in the next video.